I was questioning, how can I connect with my sacral space and learn how to work like a woman? While writing, I recognized that the wisdom and the ability to do this exists within me already. I haven't seen any other women out there functioning in the way that I want to. I see this vision for myself. It feels beautiful. It feels so expansive, so open, so like it just feels full of so many beautiful things. And genuinely, I'm dreaming of a world where women all function in this way that I'm talking about. And I know for a fact the world is like 500 times more beautiful. It's just infinite possibilities when 50% of our population stops functioning in ways that we're not made to function in. And we just start living our most beautiful, authentic selves. Like, there's so many beautiful things that can come from that. The hardest part is the letting go, the having faith, the things that don't require me to do anything, but actually let go and do less. And I think this is the difference between how men function and how women function, and how we've been taught to work in a masculine patriarchal society versus in what we're now entering is a feminine matriarchal society. We're stepping into that. We're already in it. It is at the beginning of it. And I've had a little bit of disbelief that I can achieve this huge, beautiful, massive goal while letting go more and doing less. But that's the art of all of this. And that's what I'm actually here to tap into. So I specifically booked this trip to Costa Rica for a week to delve into myself, to learn how do I work as a woman? How do I allow my creative spirit to lead me rather than me sitting at my desk and being like, work, 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 get this thing done, produce this thing, execute this. So I'm gonna read a little bit of my journal entry that I wrote while on the plane on the way here yesterday. I'm looking at my journal entries and I'm recognizing that there is an entry from the 2 days before I left that says, I finally crashed today. I started my day with literally DoorDashing myself chips, cookies, and laundry detergent because I had to do laundry. I watched TV and I organized my closet all day long. Does that sound familiar? My mom is still like that. Like, she cannot rest. Even on her days off, she's like constantly reorganizing her closet. I think she reorganizes her closet like 3 times a month minimum. Yeah, I crashed out. And I have a list of things that I've been led towards, but also calling into me, which is slowness, observation, living in awe, deep breathing, stillness, nothingness. How do I make my dreams come true while deeply caring for myself? It does not need to happen quickly. That rushing aspect is huge. I've rushed through a lot of my life, which I honestly attribute to the fact that I'm 26 years old living how I'm living, because I rushed to get here. Like, I refused to not be okay. I refused to stay in the same place for too long. And I think generally as a human, I do function faster than most humans. Like, I realize I learn lessons and overcome things faster than most people do. This is something I've noticed over the past few years. It's even in my birth chart. Like, it's written so many different places for me, whether it's astrology, in my Vedic astrology chart, even like the energy in my body that I feel. It's like bursts of fire. And I think it has worked really well for me. So I am learning how to channel those bursts of fire so that they don't burn me, because I've been burned so many times by myself. And in a sense, that is abuse. And I'm learning that true self-love requires 0 abuse. All of it is nourishment. And the abuse was normalized. The abuse was what I thought was love because that's how I was raised. But I'm learning what true, pure, unconditional love is, and it's none of that energy. It's a lot of, how do we accept you for who you are and then love you properly? How do you need to be loved is how I'm looking at myself. Constantly asking myself, how can I love you better? How can I love you deeply? How can I love you more unconditionally? And this is part of the process of me recognizing I am very fiery and I need to channel that fire in order to love myself properly. So my journal entry from my plane ride yesterday. I was questioning, how can I connect with my sacral space and learn how to work like a woman? And I set my intention, which is exactly this. Basically asked, can I learn this in a week, or is this abuse again? Am I making myself do this on purpose in a week so I can just go produce more things? Maybe. I might. Let's see how things go by the end of this week. If it doesn't work out in a week, that's my lesson. That the expectation was fucked. If it works out, then it's like intention works. You learned what you needed to, now go apply it. We'll see what happens. This is only day one. While writing, I recognized that the wisdom and the ability to do this exists within me already. I haven't seen any other women out there functioning in the way that I want to. I see this vision for myself. It feels beautiful. It feels so expansive, so open, so like it just feels full of so many beautiful things. And like so many aspects of my life, I don't see anyone around me functioning in that way. So I recognize that instead of me searching for the answers outside of myself, it really takes going deeper into myself. And that's what I'm spending this week doing. So I asked my own spirit, I was like, what are the keys to unlocking this energy within myself, this wisdom out of my own body? What do I need to do? The answers were play, flow, build the structure to work within. How do you create a structure to cultivate energy in your sacral? That was a question I asked, because I was like, you're telling me to build structure and flow within it. What structure do I need? Because in the past, I've thought that I'm building this structure, I build out a schedule, and I'm like, you have to show up at this time and just create. You have to do this. But that's not working, obviously. So I was like, what structure do we actually need to make this work? And part of the structure is utilizing the energy in nature as soon as I wake up. Do my breath work, do my yoga, my dancing, my movement, anything that actually makes me feel awake and alive and sexy and beautiful and excited to take on the day. To feed myself properly, fruit, water, all the good things. Then when it's time to create, let go of expectations and just show up in the environment. So for example, I've told you before, I planned nothing for this trip. I literally just showed up and I was like, these are my intentions and that's it. And even for today, I didn't know what I was going to do today. I didn't know I was going to record this video. I didn't know I was going to be sharing my journal entries. I didn't know I was going to be wearing this dress. And actually everything I packed was specifically anything that made me feel sexy and beautiful and just vibrant. I brought it with me. And I kind of wish I brought more like t-shirts and shorts, because I don't think I want to go outside with the clothes that I have. I think I just want to like stay in my little bubble and just feel sexy in my space, because creative energy is sexual energy. Like that's the same energy in our sacral space. It's the life force energy. And the way that women function, we need beauty. That's why women decorate themselves with makeup and jewelry, and they like an aesthetically pleasing environment, and they like to be in nature, and beauty around us and within us is important for us to feel good. So I recognized this and I was like, this entire trip is an act of love for myself. It is me making love to myself. Like, how many ways can I make love to myself in a day that requires no touching, no masturbation, no sex, no vibrators or anything? Like, it's just me basically having foreplay with myself all day long. And yoga does that for me. Dancing, meditation, prayer, being in nature, looking at the beautiful scenery, just existing, listening to the birds, the trees, the cows, wearing beautiful things, and just like sitting pretty in nature. Like, that makes me feel so amazing. So knowing that, I was like, all right, utilize those elements, show up in that way, cultivate this environment for yourself. Now what does your creative spirit ask for? It asked me to let go. Specifically, when your spirit begins letting go, let it. Don't force yourself to continue producing to meet a farce expectation for self. I definitely have expectations for this trip. I will definitely need to eliminate those expectations, because genuinely I don't know if I'll meet them, and that is me setting myself up for disappointment, but that's also me already, why would I be disappointed in what is to come? You know, like, why would I be disappointed in something I couldn't do because my mind told me to do it, when my spirit was like, no, I'm not feeling it. The difference with being led by the spirit versus the mind is huge. It's taking a lot of effort. I'm still learning it. And I understand the concept. Like, I can talk about it and I can explain it to someone else, but to truly feel the difference and move through that difference and lead with that difference is very different. It takes so much effort in the moments. In those moments when I'm realizing that there's an expectation, you're leading with your mind, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, and you're also suppressing your creation. It's tough. That's why we're here, and I'm gonna share it with you, because hopefully me learning this and going through the process will help someone else also do that for themselves. Because genuinely, I'm dreaming of a world where women all function in this way that I'm talking about. And I know for a fact the world is like 500 times more beautiful. Just infinite possibilities when 50% of our population stops functioning in ways that we're not made to function in. And we just start living our most beautiful, authentic selves. Like, there's so many beautiful things that can come from that. So that's also part of my vision with this is, and why I want to share it. My vision with this and why I want to share it is because I know as I'm pulling this wisdom from myself, because that's just something that happens naturally, I want to amplify it. I want so many millions of people to know this information and then go do the same thing so that we can just build a better earth. The possibilities are infinite and I'm so excited. And let me get back to my journal entry. So the next thing I was told to do is play outside. Enjoy food, let the earth fill your cup, and see Earth as mother, and just learn from her. I have plans to either go to, oh, that's a beautiful bird. I have plans to either go to a waterfall or to a beach, some body of water, maybe a hike, I don't know. I'm gonna go where the wind takes me. Yeah, and the last thing was to end my day doing nothing. Maybe stargazing, journaling, just existing. There's nothing to do. I expected myself to sit at my desk and record something for the project I'm working on. I don't know if I'm avoiding it. Let me just do a little meditation. Because I genuinely don't know if I'm avoiding it and like having some sort of self-sabotage behavior, or if I am actually being called to go outside. So the answer is to play outside. I'm gonna go on a little hike and go to a waterfall and just exist there for a little bit. Leaving the waterfall now. It was so nice. Unfortunately, the sun came out as soon as I left, but I was the only solo by myself girl there, and that was fine for a little bit. I was like, yeah, I got this, I'm good. And I was recording, had my camera, my tripod set up and everything, and it was cool for a little bit, and then the stairs started going from like curiosity, interest, admiration to a little creepy, and so I was like, all right, we gotta go. But I had a great time. I played, I did my thing, I enjoyed it, and I'm about to go get some food now. The food I want is 40 minutes away, and I do not care. I'm about to make this drive to get the most delicious meal I could possibly get right now, because one day without a solid meal is like, gosh, look at that. It's gorgeous. I love just looking outside and being in awe. I love it. I love it. Okay, back to
you later.